Some of you have been wondering how to make an executable file. Normally I would have waited until after all the other stuff when we were doing finishing touches, but it's a good idea actually to not only forward your video on to your user in this time of being penned in and not being able to go visit people like your client. A good idea to send them a video and also a working application if your program is to the point where it's actually working that well. So here you go. You go to your project, you go to your project in Netbeans, and the first thing you do, well, this is the first thing you need to do, because you might have a couple of different main files, or files that have main, right? In fact, a couple of you might have more than one GUI. So you need to tell, you see here that both of these have the little green wedge in the meaning that they're both executable. You need to tell the builder that you're going to be using here shortly which of these two is the one where you start. Right? We're not even using this one, we're only using this one. So this is the one that has the main that we start with. So we go up here to properties to set that. Right click, go down to properties, and then in the build category, no, it's not the build category, it's actually just run, a category of its own, run. You're going to pick the main class. So here, I did it before, so it's already been changed. Main GUI. This is main GUI for students, main GUI for students. This is the main that will drive the program. So we select it as the main. And you guys will know what your main is, particularly those of you that have like a login thing. If you have a login thing, that's the one where you start, right? So you'll know which one you start with and pick it here. You may only have the one, and it's fine. So go, okay. Then you're ready to build it. You build it to make an executable file. So you go clean and build is the best way to do it. And you'll watch the progress down below. And it'll build everything that it needs to build. And it'll tell you when it's finished. Build to succeed, then you look for where it is. Okay, so I'll go find it in my Dropbox, Netbeans, projects, full, this one. Okay, so having built it, you're now going to have a bunch of extra stuff that wasn't there before. What you're looking for is the dist folder. Dist stands for distribution, and in it will be your executable file. It's not an exe or a app, it's a jar, it's a compressed file, a Java archive, and this is the one that you run. So when I double click this, this is running the file. Or the application, not running the file, it's running the application that you have built. And it's not running it through Netbeans, it's running it on its own. This is a standalone application now. And to prove that, I'll quit Netbeans. And when I quit Netbeans, that's not going to quit, it's going to stay. This is the application that we just ran, so I'm going to go here. Don't think I need this again for this video. So right, this is still there because it's an application. It's a standalone Java application, and it will run on any computer that has Java installed, which is just about all computers. So it'll run on your client's computer, and they can look at it and test it according to what they could see from the video that you sent in terms of how it works. So I guess then the question is, what are you going to do? We know that that works now, so what are you going to do? I'm just going to quit this. What are you going to do with this? Are you going to send them the folder? No. Are you going to compress something? Are you going to compress something called dist to give them? No. You're going to give this another name. How do you rename here? Rename to be, you know, what is this? Pablo the Mayor. Okay, Mayor database program 1.2, whatever you're going to call it. And then this is the actual thing they're going to double click on. This is what's going to be in the doc or whatever. So maybe I'll be a little bit more thoughtful about what I'm calling this. Maybe not. Mayor database. Okay, whatever. So now when they uncompress this folder, it won't be dist, it'll be what it should be, right? And that's basically it. And they can test this. You might want to tell them in the email, to run the jar file. There's one other caveat though, and that is for people that have had files that they've been reading in. So most of you don't have to listen beyond this, but I'll do this really quickly for those that will need it. If you had some files that you were reading in or writing to, you wouldn't have to do because they'll write, but the reading from. If you have some file that's got a bunch of stuff from your client, let's just say that it was here. Can I just move it here? Yeah, let's just say that it was always here. This is where you kept it. It can be anywhere as long as you got it to the right place. So this is called blah, 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 right? And so you're reading this in and you have a couple other files. If this is where it was all the time you've been developing your program, it's in the root directory. So the root directory now for this is inside here. Got it? Right? So any of those, for those of you, 3 or 4 of you that have these extra files, do move them into this folder that you're going to compress. So then when this looks for them in the root directory, they're in the root directory. Okay? But anyway, for all of you, geez, I hope you didn't absolutely stop watching when I said stop. But anyway, yeah, you would have figured the rest out. All you got to do is compress this. Okay? You compress it. And that's what you send to your client. Okay, the end.